Are you sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin.
Everybody, welcome to Weekend Update, and what can I tell you? It's about the mood right now as you look around. But we got some stories, we got some entertainment, we've got some goodies, and we'll take you through some of it here. We've got Commander McMillan. How's it going?
It's going amusing.
All right. We got Dunks in. How's it going?
I'm waiting for one of Commander Scooby snacks. I want the dog treats.
You know, they could be good treats. I wonder, you know. Yeah, is it legal to give dogs Scooby snacks yet? So yeah, we've got a couple things we're going to jump into. I'm going to start us off quick with just a little update. Minneapolis, Minnesota, and you know, possible cases where we could find ourselves. But then Commander's also got a very good counterpoint to some of the news that has come out very recently here. So,
hold on.
Yeah.
I have to wear this when I start talking about what might be going on, just so everybody's comfortable.
Just to keep your head warm.
Yeah,
that's right.
Okay. So, you know, not to put some laughter on it, because Minneapolis is a freaking horror show right now. Yeah. You've got ICE literally killing people in a face-off with the citizens. You've got crowds of demonstrators. It's cold. They're out there anyway, staying as long as they can into the night and stuff. Extra measures were put in place with the Minneapolis police blocking some roads and stuff to help keep things safe.
There's barriers.
Oh, yeah. There were some tense standoffs between law enforcement and officers in riot gear and protesters. A large group of officers approached the protesters in near the federal building, and there was some, you know, pepper bombs and all that stuff shot off. And funny enough, ICE have made some arrests. You've seen the footage. We know it for sure. Minneapolis police haven't. So you've got a situation now, and remember, we got to talk about what's his name there, that righty that got chased out of town. Yeah. We were talking pre-show.
Proud Boys or something.
Yeah. And Dunk, how did he end up getting himself safely away?
Yes, it was two very nice young black men which is kind of ironic since he's a white supremacist. Two young black men escorted him to safety.
Yeah. So
because people wanted to rip him limb from limb, quite rightly, and he was covered in blood and shit, and and he looked terrified. But no, it was two young black men that escorted him to safety.
Yeah,
and then basically just like told him to fuck off, go.
Exactly. So now, officials have been urging demonstrators to stay peaceful, stay safe,
and they have it.
Yeah. For almost the entirety of this, the only instigation that I've seen in any of the footage, other than the odd person saying, fuck you, ICE, go home or something, and I mean, why not, is ICE coming at them and shooting the pepper balls and stuff. There's the real escalation here. So Walls has mobilized the State National Guard now to support the Minnesota State Patrol. And remember, Minnesota State Patrol haven't arrested anybody. They're just there in a peaceful way thing to kind of try to keep everybody apart, yell at each other from 8 feet away.
Yeah, I mean, the police need the support because, the National Guard will back up, the 600 police officers that need to do proper policing. They're already understaffed. Those police officers need to be somewhere else. And so if it's the National Guard taking over their duties, then that's all good. But but the National Guard will be there to protect the protesters from any violence. We hope.
Now, I think it's worth mentioning because, again, I think this is one of these wonderfully humorous things. The protesters are also doing what I would call little acts of civil disobedience. So, like around the ICE headquarters building, they've been throwing water balloons.
Yeah.
Remember, we're talking sub-zero temperatures. What happens to the ground when you get water on it? It's slippery.
Yeah.
Ice on ice.
And apparently none of the ICE people are from there, so they aren't wearing the appropriate boots to move on slick surfaces, and they're falling on their asses an awful lot. It's such a tragedy.
I've seen some of the clips. It is hilarious. The one guy that just goes running in and whoom, boom. Like he gives it the full Charlie Brown after missing the football and lands right on his back. So now, at the same time as Walls has said, we're going to have to get some National Guard in here to support our police officers. You have the Justice Department is you've got the Justice Department thing. That's the next part. But now you've got troops being mobilized and
Pentagon.
Yeah. And the whole word is that they're being mobilized for Minneapolis. But Commander, we were talking about the type of troops and who's being mobilized and stuff. Minneapolis, it's an interesting.
So normally when federal troops are mobilized, you take whoever's on the alert list. And typically the unit, which is the U.S. Army's alert unit, is the 82nd Airborne, which is based out of North Carolina. I don't know what the fort's called now. It used to be called Fort Bragg, and I'm sure the Orange God King had it renamed back to Fort Bragg, but whatever. The trouble is, that's not who was put on alert for this operation. The unit that they did alert is 2 battalions out of the 11th Airborne Division, which is a unit that was only stood up 2 years ago. And they're based out of Fort Richardson, Alaska. Now, North Carolina, I'm sure it gets chilly down there, but it's not, known for the real cold conditions that you would see in Minneapolis. Alaska is. So arguably that's the reason that they're going there. But it just strikes me that why would you take a unit that's not normally an alert response unit, direct them to go on alert for this redeployment. And here's what's interesting. They were actually on a stand down, so they had to recall a large number of people who were on leave to get these units constituted and ready to go. So 2 battalions, 11th Airborne, supposedly heading to Arctic training and paratroops. I mean, you couldn't mobilize, I don't know, the Nebraska National Guard and federalize them, or take some other unit out of, one of the other forts that's in the area that you could transport. You don't really need paratroops for this duty.
Right.
But if you were going to go somewhere with greener pastures, having paratroops trained in Arctic operations might be something you'd want to do.
Yeah, it very much sounds like it very much sounds like if they don't let us buy it, you guys are going in first.
Yeah. Sorry, it's itchy.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you wanted a cover story to ready troops that you were going to use as your assault wave going into Greenland, those would be the guys that you would use, and the way you would do it would be say that, oh yeah, we're going to send them to Minneapolis.
Right. It's interesting stuff that's going on. And then
now, do I think that's what's going to happen? No, but
it's an interesting possibility.
With this White House, you can't make judgments and guesses on what they're going to do based on an irrational actor.
Yeah. They had sexualized dog people at the dog party. So, that was some creepy, weird stuff. But
well, they're not sending those into Greenland, are they?
Well, I mean, they got the fur for it, right?
Got the sleds.
Yeah.
Fur-lined bikinis. Hey, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably going to bring...
Epstein had that little tropical island. Well, we need something in the north for the people that like, skiing and sledding and such. Keep them entertained up there. I mean, Maxwell's out of prison now, so I'm sure she can organize it.
Oh, yeah. All she needs to do is learn a little cross-country skiing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if we flip back over to Minneapolis here, now we've got this federal immigration agents placed with some restrictions by a federal judge. This just happened on Friday. And so the limitations came as word spread that the Department of Justice is investigating walls in Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. And we're going to get to that just before I'm done, too. And so the restrictions are, where are they here? They're not allowed to arrest citizens. They're not allowed to use weapons against citizens unless in like self-defense. And I think that's just a waste of talk because oh my God, she started the car. I had to unload an Uzi in her. That's basically what we're about to get to. But
she looked at me in a funny way.
Yeah, exactly. But the real thing here is the Justice Department is now investigating Walz and the mayor over an alleged conspiracy to impede federal immigration agents. If this doesn't take what little credibility the DOJ might have been able to salvage away, what does?
Because it fits the narrative.
Yeah.
Remember, this is all about generating a narrative for the consumption of the MAGAs.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can point at anybody who's a Democrat and say, oh, conspiracy to overthrow the government or what have you, they just need to change their underwear. They had so much pleasure.
Hang on a minute. What do you mean conspiracy to overthrow the government? Trump's already has overthrown the government.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing left of it.
He's a right-thinking Republican proto-fascist.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. I'll shut up.
It's okay if he overthrows the government, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So a U.S. official said the investigation stems from statements that Walls and Frey have made about the thousands of immigrations and customs enforcement officers and Border Patrol agents deployed to the Minneapolis region in recent weeks. Subpoenas are likely to be issued in the probe, sources familiar with the matter told CBS News. Here's a quote. It's an obvious attempt to intimidate me for standing up for Minneapolis, our law enforcement, and our residents against the chaos and danger this administration has brought to our streets. That's Mayor Frey. I will not be intimidated. My focus will remain where it has always been, keeping our city safe. And then Walls afterwards said 2 days ago it was Lisa Slotkin. Last week it's Powell. Before that, Mark Kelly. Weaponizing the justice system and threatening political opponents is a dangerous authoritarian tactic. The only person not being investigated for the shooting of Renee Good is the federal agent who shot her. Good one, Walls.
But it tells you exactly what you need to know.
Yep.
This has nothing to do with actual fact. It's all about creating perception.
Yep.
And if you tell that lie loud enough and often enough, people start to believe it.
It's unbelievably disgusting that an agency called the Department of Justice is literally being used like the Knights Templar and the Crusade or something, man.
Well, it's kind of funny what you say. I mean, and I've said it as well. You tell the lie often enough, people will believe it. It's getting to that point now where people are just calling bullshit now, quite vocally, when the lies are coming out from Trump.
Yeah, but as I keep trying to point out, he's not playing to you and me or people who think like we do.
Exactly.
He's not even playing to those undecided centrist independent voters. He's trying to keep the base in line.
Yeah.
And he's doing that because so much stuff is coming out about the corruption, about the Epstein files, about sexual perversion, all that stuff. And he's starting to lose ground with his base.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows that if the base breaks, it's all over for him. The only thing that prevents him from being impeached, thrown out of office, and sent to prison is the fact that every Republican in Congress is terrified of the man.
Yeah.
And the only reason they're terrified is that 30%, the mouth breathers all think he's God's gift to America.
Yeah.
We are starting to see more and more Republicans stand up against him.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly, but there are more and more.
Yeah. We need more and more and more. And I'm really hoping that we just steadily get more and more and more. I
think Greenland will be the breaking point for them. Sorry.
No. I was walking on you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Carry on.
I was going to say, I think we need to understand there's a difference between Republican and MAGA.
Yes. And the Republicans have got to start making sure that people see that difference. I do believe it's like, if we can get a few more of them on board, you can have a situation where Trump's tactics to shut down the midterms can be blocked by his own freaking people.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is that he has managed to capture the zeitgeist of that little fringe element.
Yeah.
And it's sufficient to ensure that people who are real Republicans are terrified that if they don't, play the game of acknowledging him as Jesus's gift to America, that, they'll get voted out, and they don't want to. They want to continue to, serve their constituencies. I may not agree with Republicans, but we do need a loyal opposition party.
Definitely.
Yeah, and so there are people that are on that side of the spectrum that don't particularly like the things that you and I may like. So I'm not going to say they're wrong. I just, I don't agree with them.
Yeah.
The MAGAs, on the other hand, it's completely different. It's they dug this group out of the muck, and I would wager that most of them, the true MAGAs, were not involved in politics to any meaning sense prior to come along.
I totally agree, Commander. They're more in this for the us against them, we beat you, crybaby bitches and stuff. They don't actually even care that things are crumbling around them, because half of these ones doing all that severe hardcore arguing never had anything to begin with anyway. They don't lose.
But didn't a lot of MAGA, your MAGA members, your MAGA Stanies, a lot of them crossed over from QAnon
and the Tea Party?
Yeah, Tea Party. Yeah, Tea Party was started much earlier, back I think in Reagan's era, actually.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
Yeah, and there isn't a huge amount. There is definitely some, but there's not a huge identical crossover between MAGA and the Tea Party people.
Well, for me, Tea Party is Catholics and MAGA's Opus Dei, that little real hardcore sect within, and kind of grew and became, right?
And not even necessarily Opus Dei, but the fringe elements of Opus Dei who want, it's like, we want to go back to the Latin Mass. We don't like the fact that you're doing it in the Vulgate. And, people who aren't believers should never be allowed to even enter a church and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Alchemist in the Alchemist there, or AI Alchemist, our guy, came up with a great one. I think we should all use this. Impeach Trump. I love it.
But that only applies in Georgia.
We'll make this available in the Discord server and get it spread around. That's awesome. Let's see here. Where should we go next? Do you want to go next, Commander?
Sure. Then I'll have to shut up for a long time because I really don't have anything other than this one that I was able to get done.
I think Dunk and I both have some that'll definitely, fill and carry on.
Yeah. And I always have opinions to insert, so no worries.
That's why we love to have you.
So, as a lead into this, I want people to go into their little Wayback Machines and turn the dials back back into the 70s. Do you remember when the ruler of Uganda was His Excellency President for Life, Field Marshal and Haji Dr. Idi Amin Dada, VC, DSO, MC, CBE, Lord of all the beasts of the earth and fishes of the seas, conqueror of the British Empire in Africa in general and Uganda in particular? Well, that's quite a mouthful, but guess what? It looks like Uganda is about to get another leader with those same kind of remarkable qualities.
Oh, my God.
Yep. So, by way of background, dun, dun, dun. Yeah. The current president of Uganda is a guy named Yoweri Museveni. He's 81 years old. He's a former military officer and head of what was called the National Resistance Movement, which seized power in 1996. He's currently in his 7th term as president. His rule has been characterized by brutal suppression, and that's directed specifically at various members of tribes who are not his own or tribes that are not affiliated with his own.
God, this is a recurring story that's getting sick, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, the HCUN labeled one of his actions as genocide against specific tribes in his country. But he's a man with a modern, nuanced view of life. For example, he instituted the death penalty for homosexuality in 2009.
About
And he
bloody
loves to
time.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's right. And he loves to label his political opponents as gays, so that he, has the right to arrest and kill them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, makes sense now.
Holy fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
delightful fellow.
Oh.
So, as I noted previously, he's getting on in years. So much so that in 2018, he had to amend the constitution of the country to eliminate age as a limit on presidential office holders. It used to be 75. That's gone now. You can be 10,012 if you want to.
So he can point out the giraffe in the book too, then?
Exactly. Anyway,
Giraffes in Uganda.
yeah. Many believe that Museveni is grooming his son, Muhoozi, to succeed him. Now, prior to 2020, Muhoozi was largely unknown. He was a career officer in the military. He fought in a number of engagements against both rebels inside Uganda and in the Democratic Republic of the Congo as kind of a expeditionary force commander. However, in the past 6 years, he's begun to emerge onto the political scene.
You mean he's coming out?
Yeah, he's coming out.
That's ironic.
I like that. I have to use that. So in December 2020, 3 days after becoming the head of Uganda's Special Forces Command, he posted a series of insults against opposition leader Bobi Wine, who was then campaigning against his father. And then he kidnapped and publicly threatened to personally castrate one of Wine's primary advisors.
What the?
In 2021.
So I was gonna say, what history lesson is this? This is the 1800s.
No, we have to continue. We haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet.
Oh my God.
In 2021, his troops arrested and tortured in his basement a journalist that Muhoozi had claimed had insulted him, and only released him after the writer in question had issued a public apology. He has threatened to invade the neighboring countries of Kenya and South Sudan. And here's my favorite. This is where we venture into the truly absurd. He has threatened to conquer Italy.
What?
If his bride price offer for the Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, is rejected.
Okay, just...
So no, it was cows. He offered 100 cows for the prime minister if she would become his second wife.
Holy shit.
I don't got a cow.
Fuck is wrong with you?
And like somebody else we know, he believes he is entitled to a Nobel Peace Prize because he negotiated a normalization of border crossing protocols with the neighboring country of Rwanda.
God, just...
They're all squeezed out of the same mold.
Holy shit.
Aren't they? So anyway, until recently, many believe that Museveni's son-in-law and senior presidential advisor, Odrek, Rubwogo.
I think it's pronounced Beelzebub, but...
Yeah, it could be. Anyway, they thought he was going to be Museveni's likely successor. But in 2022, Muhoozi announced his intention to retire, giving no specific date of when he was going to do that. And speculation went wild that he was going to try to become his father's successor. So the National Revolutionary Movement political party began to divide into competing camps, the pro-Rawabwogo and the pro-Muzui factions. So we could get a nice little civil war out of this. You never know.
Oh, my God.
Something to look
Anyway,
forward to.
after his announcement that he might retire, Muhoozi began to very publicly organize this lavish birthday party for himself. And he leaked a guest list that included the attorney general of the country, other high-ranking political officials, almost the entire list of anybody in the senior ranks of the Ugandan military.
Sounds
And
like the
Celine
Red
Dion.
Wedding coming.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like everybody and anybody. Shortly after the list was made public, Muhoozi deactivates his Twitter account, claiming that big tech was trying to silence him.
What?
But then I know. Then 5 days later, he reactivates the account and declares, "Never fear, my followers, I'm back. I had important decisions to make."
What?
Anyway,
Shouldn't be laughing.
Muhoozi has
I've had meth
kind
head
of-
drummers in the band that made more sense than this. What the
Yeah.
hell?
Anyway, Muhoozi has popularly become known as the tweeting general in Uganda because he frequently posts inappropriate content for somebody of his rank and position late at night after he's gotten drunk. And many of these posts of like, I offered Italy 100 cows so I can marry the prime minister, this kind of stuff. He does it when he's drunk off his ass. It's just like, now who else do we know that loves to tweet sitting on a golden commode?
I think that's not a very smart question.
You're right. I'm sorry. I withdraw the question. I withdraw the question.
But here's the thing: this is Uganda, and Uganda is one of those countries. It's just like this is the sort of shit that happens there.
It started off badly, and it just gets worse.
I know. But the thing is ridiculous when you can actually make direct comparisons to the president of the United States of America. Things aren't looking too good.
Are you trying to imply that my country is turning into a third world shithole?
No, we'll just call it a banana state and just be done with it.
I would say that you're probably right.
I'm scared. What if somebody tells Trump that Ceausescu had people painting leaves green in fall because he didn't like the brown look of the trees and stuff?
Well, Trump will be all right with that because he doesn't like anything that's brown.
So anyway, in March 2024, Muhoozi was appointed by his father as the chief of the Ugandan Defense Forces. And the popular speculation that this was done to ensure that Muhoozi had sufficient military backing to take over as president when his father, Museveni, eventually steps down and retires, to eliminate all that speculation of, this faction, that faction, siding with Bogo or whatever his name is. But there's also concern in many circles that it also gives Muhoozi sufficient power to simply stage a coup and remove his dad and put himself on the throne whenever he damn well feels like. So if dad doesn't step down, before his 8th re-election as president, he may be stepped down permanently on somebody else's account.
Succession by force.
Yeah. No, that never happens in African republics. Never. It's unheard of.
Wow.
That's strictly something that occurs in the United States. Come on.
That was one hell of a tale. Because, like myself, Dunk, almost everybody in the live chat watching along as we go here is just like, wait a minute, is he talking about Trump?
Yeah, are you sure
When I
you're
was
just not,
researching,
you're not sure you're not just watching a new sitcom or something?
yeah, I mean, as I'm researching this, I'm going, no, this got to be like something his political opponent said about him.
Yes,
And then you
yes,
go,
fan fiction.
no, there's 2 or 3 other sources that all have the same story.
Bloody hell.
Oh man.
Do you get the feeling that there's not enough TV parody of world politics, going out there? We need a big show that just basically just showing off all this shit, but just making fun of it because it is just so ridiculously stupid.
Let's start right here.
Yeah. There we go. There's my man.
Here's one more, just to help you feel real good today.
You suck.
One of my all-time favorite clips.
Yeah. Let's not forget Zelensky.
I
was
can
a
watch
comedy
that
actor.
1,000 times and not get bored of it.
Yeah, I was just saying, let's not forget that Zelensky was a comedy actor. So we'll put him in the top prime spot in our new world politics
I agree.
sitcom.
Yeah, man of all the people, and he just flies in and kicks the shit out of Hitler-like leaders.
Saturday Night Live ought to do a comedy sketch using these Ugandans or something, but just change the names.
Yeah.
So you could either have it in whiteface and, instead of having the guy with the big comb over and the belly and everything, instead of calling him Trump, you call him the daddy. And
Yeah.
you take the guy who's Stephen Miller and call him Mahuzi or whatever. Or you flip the script and they do it in blackface, but they call him, Trump and Miller. And you wonder how many people would really catch the sarcasm that you're trying to project.
Yeah.
Like very few.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
And I think most of the people will be saying, "Oh, blackface! Oh, you can't do that." You're missing the point. You're missing the joke.
I want to
Art
see
says, orange face. Yeah, okay, you win.
I want to see Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, and Dave Chappelle white-faced up doing this skit, man.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh yeah. Oh well. I think that it falls to yourself, Doug. First off, we should give the alert to everybody that it is a 2-part show. So make sure you've got the second part ready and open for after. There will be links in the live chat. There is a link in the description. And we also have a redirect set. So as soon as the show is done, you'll get sent to the second part anyway. But the redirect doesn't always work because YouTube's about as reliable as a Donald Trump construction company. So, but we'll try our best.
Yeah, I mean, I should have brought this one up earlier, but there's a man. I'm assuming he's in America, because he's been training crows to spot people wearing red baseball caps and attack them. Yeah, he's been documenting. He went viral after documenting all the steps and stages to get his crows to through his training stages, showing how a handful of peanuts, months of patience, and a dash of political mischief turned local crows into red hat removing legends.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
I think it was at University of Washington in Seattle. They did experiments with crows out in the wild and found out that, they very quickly can identify people, in their behavior towards crows. So if you threw a rock at a crow, you come back the next year. You come back the next year. The other crows who've never seen you before will know you're an asshole who throws rocks at crows.
Yeah.
Conversely, if you're a nice person that feeds the crows, they'll all know, oh, here's a nice guy. Yeah, we'll wait around for him to feed us now. And
Wow.
and if you treat them nice, they bring you little rewards. I mean, what they think of as rewards.
Yeah. There's
shiny bits of glass or whatever. But yeah, they're very smart.
There used to be a road commander where I lived in one town, and around it was some trees that had nuts. But the nuts, whatever they were, I can't remember, were too intense for the crow to get through. So they came up with the most ingenious plan. They put the nuts on the road, and the car, when the red light hits, and they put them on the road, and then the cars drive them over, and then the red light hits again, and they fly in and they get their stuff. It was really cool to see. It was awesome. Very cool.
The only advice I would give out.
We must take a break for the obligatory river shot. Hey, River.
Oh, River. Hey, River. Oh, here, let me highlight you.
There we are.
Hello,
yeah, the only advice I would give out the back of that story is if you're wearing a Massey Ferguson hat, swap it for a John Deere. If you're wearing a Marlboro hat, swap it for something else.
Please do not wear a John Deere hat because they're anti-repair, anti-ownership assholes. Fuck John Deere.
But they're not anti-crow.
On the approaches to my house, there's an area where the crows will come and they'll get clams out of the bay that comes by here. And then they pick them up and they put them in the road where they know a car's going to drive by and squish them so they can get the meat inside.
Yeah.
They have difficulty opening them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll fly up way high and drop it, and that'll crack it open.
Yeah.
But then the other crow who's down on the ground will steal it.
Yeah, the crows using traffic to crack stuff open is quite common. I've seen it myself with nuts from a tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very
crows
funny.
And ravens. Crows and ravens are very, very smart, which is kind of strange because, old Kennedy's got, he likes his ravens, and, well, we should put them in charge of the health services, not him.
Oh, we'd have better recommendations if it was a crow, where are we here? I have a couple of things here. So we have some deals going down in the world. You know how Trump's always talking about the art of the deal and so on. Actually, here, before I continue, just quick, because I've already forgotten once. Johnny C in the chat there came in with a $20 super chat. And he says, please, let's call shit what it is. The Department of Shit, not justice, because there ain't no justice there at all. Just us, stay safe, my fellow shillbillies and the Shills team. Big shout there, $20 super chat as well. Thanks, Johnny. Very cool indeed. But yeah, I wanted to turn to the world stage here because you've got stuff going on where Trump seems to be trying his best to break up NATO. He's ruining trade deals everywhere he goes and whatnot. And our man Carney there in Canada, the prime minister, he just went and did a deal with China over some farm imports from us to them and for some EV electric vehicles coming our way. Only about 50,000 until the tariff really kicks in high again. But still, now people were like, oh my God, what are the Americans going to do about this, right? And where is it here? Sorry, everybody. So in Saskatchewan, the premier of Saskatchewan thinks it's very good news because they get to sell more products out, and China loves some of our farm-like stuff, but we had joined with the Americans in a big EV tariff, and that kind of soured our relationship with them. I know it's China, but it's the new world order, just as Carney said, and we got to take it as it is and play the game where we can. So Doug Ford, the Ontario premier, is a little annoyed because they've got some real automotive sector stuff there. And it's traditional American iron. It's the big three mostly in Ontario with a couple others. And to be honest, yeah, I guess that could hurt the province a little bit job wise, maybe. But isn't the onus on GM, Chrysler, Stellantis, whoever, and Ford to actually start doing a good job and make cars that people want? It shouldn't be about just completely blocking people. At the same time, the Chinese EVs are way over subsidized by the government and are only cheap because China is making them cheap. So there's a very valid argument for this as well, right?
Yeah.
But Trump, so here, Jameson Greer, U.S. trade representatives, called the deal problematic and said Canada will come to regret it. But Ronald J. Gump himself called it a good thing.
Oh shit! It can't be that good then. No.
He looked at the guy and who asked him and said, "Hey, if you can get a deal with China, you should do that." And that was his answer.
No.
Like, to him, it was only about the deal. It wasn't about the results and how it plays out. He was just like, "Hey, congratulations, you got a deal out of China." Like, are you fucking kidding me? This is the mentality of this Muppets?
He's too stupid to know when it's good for the country and bad for the country.
I know.
Everything is just done on this base instinct. I like it. I don't like it. It's painted orange. It must be wonderful. It's painted blue. It must be bad.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be at all surprised if people start doing trade deals with Russia at it. You know, it's just like, as opposed to the United States. It's just getting so ridiculous.
And one of the things that Carney said that was interesting during this whole thing was, right now, we have the basis of a deal with China that can go forwards and be productive for both nations. This is only the start. At the same time, world economists are talking about the fact that this signals a definite shift in the way Canada is doing things, and they expect Carney to be all over Europe and stuff soon, announcing new deals and stuff and whatnot. I personally agree that's going to happen. And Trump is meanwhile saying it's all good. But Carney then says, we're looking at a situation where we're in 2026 and we still don't have an actual meaningful trade deal with the United States. And that could carry on for a while, even though we already went through tariff bullshit, sit down and sign a trade deal that was a different one than the one Trump signed the last time he was in office in the first place. If that doesn't reek of senility, you know what I mean? And the fact that he has to have his diaper changed at least 3 times a day, I don't know what it's reeking of, because this man is just an absolute mess.
He is.
But I would say that our man Carney in Canada is playing a real cool game. He didn't call the Americans out during his speech at all. He just spoke of what's to come, maybe, and stuff, and just said that, you know, this is the modern world. And if I don't play in it, well, where the hell am I going to play? I like the guy. You know, I still like him.
Well, if and when your big brother turns out to be a meth-abusing idiot, you know, you don't really have much choice.
Exactly. You know,
that's what's happened.
Yeah. And I would like to throw in, while we, you know, before this is gone, yes, we made a deal. And yes, we as in Canadians, Canada. And yes, it's about Chinese EVs, which I truly and fully believe are way over subsidized by the government. And if they were playing on an equal playing field, money-wise, would be far more expensive than they get to be sold at. But they only lowered the tariff for the first 50,000, and then everything goes way up again. Whereas Canada gets to import a lot of agricultural product into China again. So I know China's looking at this as, just let us get our foot in the door and your people will scream for our products. I know that's what it is, right?
They're not fools. They know exactly how to play the game.
Yeah, yeah. Right. And I'll never stop saying it's unfair, because China is subsidizing those companies to ridiculous levels that's unrealistic to an open market scenario. right? But I like how Canada's being very defensive about it. They only gave a little to get quite a bit. And I would say, again, that's the result of our man Carney being a world economist for quite a long time and knowing what the hell he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where are we here on time? We got a shout out here. Sorry. Salt to the Red Earth has re-upped the membership. Once again, Salt. Love you, Salt. Thank you so much. It's always so lovely when people reaffirm that they just want to be a part of the family. Thanks so much, Salt. Very cool indeed. Yeah, we're at 50 minutes here, so we've got about a 4-minute thing going on. Yeah, got a blurb in the pocket, Dunk? Yeah.
Let me throw one in here because there's been a chip wreck in the UK because a cargo. Where is it? Southeast. Where is it? China? I don't know. Oh, it's the eastern one. It's in the UK. So several shipping containers containing food and packaging came ashore earlier this week and basically flooded the beaches of Eastbourne with chips. And when I say chips, I mean chips. Let me get the image and put it in the green room for you, so you can see that.
American chips, not European.
British chips.
Yeah.
Fries. And the beaches are littered with chips. The seagulls must be going crazy. All these free chips. Where's my story gone? It's basically saying, you can go walk along and you can find chips 3 to 4 feet deep.
Imagine
on the beaches.
That. Hey, honey, you want to go down to the beach for fries tonight?
Yeah. Just pick your own. They must be delicious.
I can see the seagulls years from now talking about the glory days.
Enormously fat seagulls.
Yeah, just on 4 feet worth of chips.
Yeah. We raised 3 generations on those chips.
We've lost the ability of flight, but my God, we fed like kings.
Turned seagulls into chickens with a fucking container of fries.
Oh God, that beach is gonna smell like shit in a few days.
Yeah.
Does that also mean that the local fish are now feeling obligated to float up on the beach themselves to give you a full meal?
Or pre-battered.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
pre-battered fish.
If you go down at noon, the cod just jump into your basket for you to complete the whole thing, right?
They're saying, please keep dogs on leads because some of the food items washing up on the shoreline may be harmful to them. I'm pretty sure it's harmful to anybody. You don't. You're not going to go down there and go, oh, look, chips.
Yeah. Look, honey, steak. Wow.
Oh, dude.
You sure it's gray? Yeah, but it was. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Can't be all that bad.
So remember, we're about to change over to part 2 of this show. Just do it. Don't ask. Trust me. So the link is in the description. The link will be in the live chat. It's pinned at the top of the live chat, and there's a redirect at the end. Join us. Be there or be square and something or about.
We should call it season 26, episode 2.
Well, at least you didn't do 6, 7.
Because you hated it when I do that.
See you on part 2, everybody. We'll be right there after a potty break and a beer refresh.
Bye-bye. Stay shitty and stay chippy.
Oh, yeah. Chippy.